Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this bonus quick news update video I'm going to be giving you my reaction and indeed update, telling you every single thing you need to know that happened in the fans first pulse stream earlier on, which was absolutely fantastic. To be honest, it really was one of the best ones I've seen, purely because, okay, a couple of the figures were, we were sort of expecting, but exactly that we were expecting and we hadn't actually seen, apart from the first couple, maybe the Dinobots, which you'll see in a second. But it was really refreshing to have a load of figures that we hadn't seen yet, and there were some real surprises as well. So I've just got, basically this is what we're going to be going through here. I've got my trusty iPad with my trusty screenshots, and of course I'm going to be giving you a bit of commentary on what they were saying and what my thoughts are, because it's just opened up a whole huge Pandora's box, in honesty. So the first thing which they got to officially reveal themselves, which I was really pleased about, is of course the new War Dawn 2-pack with Dion and not Alita, Ariel, obviously spelt the other way. So again, they alluded to the fact that they were reusing the same molds, but they changed them and modified them ever so slightly, which is brilliant. He also Easter egged that gun with Ariel, because they were saying that it's basically an exact copy of a gun that Alita 1 uses later on in the cartoon. So loads of little things like that, which I think is brilliant, and it's really good that they're doing that for the fans. There's things that I wouldn't even have picked up on that, to be honest. I'm sure most people would, who really love the cartoons, but it's just nice that they're doing little Easter eggs like that. So we've got some, they had obviously, of course, two models, one in alt mode and one in robot. I know we've seen some images of these before, but I'm sure you'd agree they do look great. Just a quick reminder, obviously, if you want to see this in its glory, go to the hasbro hasbro Pulse YouTube. You can watch all 45-50 minutes of it. So we've seen this beautiful box art from the front, but what nobody's shown us yet is exactly what they showed us there, the top. So from the episode, of course, Megatron and the Decepticons are flying above, and that's pretty much one of the main concepts about the whole episode. And of course, that's what the Autobots, or them before they were, of course, transformed into Orion Pax, etc. Into Optimus Prime. They really wanted to do that themselves, and this is when they dropped the biggest hint ever that they're going to be looking to do Superior. And it was huge. They were talking about the fact, of course, in the episode, that they want to get as many of the characters from that particular episode. And of course, anybody who remembers this, the aerial bots were in that. So we've already got the Guardian, which is of course the Titan. We've obviously got Dion and Ariel, and of course we've got Orion Pax and Alpha Trion as well. And I'm sure you'll agree they all look fantastic together like that. But they dropped a huge hint. Well, maybe I read it wrong. I'm sure I did. I'm sure they basically said we want to get as many characters from that episode, and then they said, and they joked between themselves, so it's pretty much that it looks like, fingers crossed, that they're going to be doing Superior anyway. Right, so that's the thing that we'd seen. A couple of other things that we sort of knew but hadn't seen them in hand, and again, these were officially revealed by Evan, purely because, wow, that's some reflection there, isn't it? Of because he did the interview with the comics. But of course, here are the core class Dinobots. There is Swoop, and there indeed, we'll see in a second, is Scar, spelt with a C rather than a K, because of course Scar with a K is Double Dealer's Power Master. So yeah, this is Scar, the Ankylosaurus, and it was nice that he said that people have actually really taken to this character, and in fact people are already requesting a leader size one of these to go with the Studio Series 86 figure. So I suppose that's really nice. He didn't actually show us any combined modes though with all them, even though there would just be obviously Snarl missing. We just saw them in their individual bots on the turntable, etc. Then we moved on to, we knew he was coming, but it was so great to see him. And this is a deluxe class size Beachcomber, and if you're wondering what the green thing on his shoulder is, it is the bird. It's from, of course, the G1 cartoon. So that was a really nice touch. He looks fully articulate. He looks fantastic. Just again, really good. That I love the way that they've gone into so much detail with these deluxe class mini-bots, basically starting to complete all of the ones that originally came out. They look great. There you are. You can see you can attach the bird to the back, which is brilliant. Now this is, again, this was the one that I know loads of people, Duke Nukem's going to comment, I'm sure he is, how pleased he is that we're going to be getting Devcon. And the great thing about this is a bit like, I suppose, the Metal Hawk, funnily enough, which is pretty much here. The Metal Hawk, I mean, how they got the Cyclonus mold, they got him from the Cyclonus mold. This is it's a retool of the Blur mold. So I know we've had a lot of use of that mold, but you can't even really tell. It's got an alternate mode as well, which is brilliant. Maybe there you can tell a little bit from the robot mode. No way you can tell that's from the blur mold. Absolutely fantastic and really good to have an official mainline release Devcon figure. And there he was in hand in both modes, looking incredibly good. And at this point in the fan stream, the comments were going absolutely mental, which was great. As I say, it's so good. I think they really did a great job with all of these. This is very, very interesting. So this is a female, this is Axel Grease, and this is their first female Junkion, and it's not Nancy. However, they did sort of allude to the fact that they may do a Nancy in the future. They were quite sketchy with all of this, to be fair, which was really quite good. I'm just double checking that it is Axel Grease. Yeah, definitely Axel Grease, definitely a female Decepticon Junkion. So the first female toy figure, obviously, of a Decepticon Junkion, and they use a partial, you'll probably be able to get, well, you'll definitely be able to guess when you see the alternate mode of one of the first ones they did, but it's a completely different back, loads of different accessories, which again you'll get to see. These are going to be absolutely crazy insane. Still no talk or word on whether they're going to all combine or not. I personally think they're going to, or if not, Bot Bender will definitely do his best to make them all combine. So yeah, here she is in both modes, and of course they show you the Evo Fusion where they separate the parts of the car and indeed build them back up with the others. So they've kept the hook. They made a joke about that as well, keeping the hook, and there indeed she is with the inverted colours and the Decepticon colours. There you go, there's Scrapbook. Apologies for the reflection, but there you go, you can see that they're pretty similar but not the same, which is just a great little touch. And they did in the video, they separated and joined the two together like you can with Crash Bar, etc. Then this is brilliant, and in a way I think that this sort of proves that they are listening, like they've said, because Mark Lonis, again, he mentioned it. He's like, look, loads of people want this figure. He joked that he couldn't get it. He said he was asking BMAC to get him one because he couldn't get hold of it himself. So, and they want to do the others as well. So fingers crossed for everybody like myself who didn't get Dirge, didn't get Ramjet. I was lucky enough to get Thrust, but we didn't get Dirge. So he's alluded to well, obviously this is coming out. This is the first one I think that's going to be available. All of these ones I'm showing you now, by the way, are available for pre-order right now. So of course we're getting Voyager class Dirge. And again, I'm excited for this because I completely missed out on this. So really excited to get hold of this figure. Not at a crazy... I've literally seen these sell in the UK for £120 each. So that's what, $150? Loose, not in a box, not the box sets, loose, which is insane. And I know I probably have more figures worth a little more than that, but at least they're vintage and at least, you know, they're sealed or something. But it'd be really nice to get hold of him. Then, of course, as I say, this is pretty much, we knew he was coming because he was teased. So this is Nemesis, Leo Convoy, and the paint scheme, the deco on this just works so much better. It is, I'm just making sure that, because sometimes I get too carried away and sometimes I refer to their Japanese names and get them all mixed up. So yeah, Leo Prime, Nemesis Leo Prime, which is of course a redeco of the Evolution standard one. Look at the detail there. They've actually painted the eyes much better. I think this just really works, this paint scheme. I said it with the normal Nemesis Prime core class figure that I did not so long ago. The black on it just seems to work. Same with Sound Blaster, same with Stepper. Black on them just really works. So there we go. That's unfortunately for me a definite because I was so impressed with that mold. And then here we go. They teased this, but we hadn't seen any images of this at all. This is the leader class figure from Evolution. And it is, of course, Armada Megatron. And again, I can't wait to really get hold of these. Funny enough, I've got an Armada Megatron which has been sat in a box in my loft for ages, well, for years, decades, and I've not really had much chance to look at it, so I'm going to definitely dig it out and get ready for some comparison videos, because again, I openly admit that the Armada, in fact, the Unicron trilogy is completely alien to me. I wasn't collecting any of them figures when they were released at that time. I was still only focusing on G1. So unfortunately, I missed all these. So these are great for me to come back to and have a look at as well. They had some in hand. He looks great. He looks robust. And he's going to go perfectly well with the Commander class figure who we know is coming and we're going to see in a second. So yeah, leader class. In fact, there you go, right on cue. I liked what they did here. They had a nice video from the original designer who made the original Armada Optimus Prime, and he said that he spent a lot of time indeed doing this new updated version, the Commander class. He showcased him in all of his modes. I've zoomed in so you can't read the full lines that are underneath. It was really nice, to be fair. As I say, if you want to, I'd strongly recommend it anyway, to be fair, because it's just good to see what us fans want. And I think that's why these pull streams and fans first events are so good, because you genuinely see that the people who are engineering these and who are making these enjoy making them, and they're really interested in these figures. So it's really good that and then they're talking about, as I say, he's talking about how he wanted it to scale. There you go, pretty much like the cartoon. And of course the larger mode, they also, as well, that's just reminded me, they'd also alluded that Armada Megatron will combine with something else. Now I think, again, I could be totally wrong, does Armada Megatron combine with tidal wave? Please let me know in the comments. I'm not too sure. Whoever he combines with, they didn't mention any names, but they said he's got compatibility and will be able to combine. So the doorway is open with that as well, which is brilliant. Yeah, a few more shots from this particular video that they aired, and there, of course, he had one in hand. That's just a brilliant one of Mark Clonus's face. That's why I had to pause it on there. And there he is in hand. Again, they're saying how much. I'm going to show you the box in a minute, but again, this is, again, and they alluded to it, I think a little bit like Motormaster. I know I might divide people's opinion when I say this. What I liked about Motormaster was it is a genuine mini play. It is a genuine mini play set. I know the base mode's a bit weak, but the amount of things that you can do with that toy makes it interesting, makes it so good. Whereas with this, the same thing, it's got a battle station, it's got a combined mode, it's got so many things going on. And again, I can't wait to get hold of this one. However, you can't pre-order just yet. Right, there's the box art, looking big, looking huge. The fold out, they were giving, I suppose, appreciation and thanks to the guys who do the art for them, because again, the artwork on these boxes is spectacular. There's some images of the back of the box, and then I think in a second, there you go, so you can't pre-order until April the 18th for him. So I've kept that there just to remind myself as well. So all the other ones which you just saw, and I'll recap at the end, you can pre-order now already, but they've got different release dates. And there's also a couple of package refreshes. I think Tarantulas is going to be one of them, and Core Class Starscream is definitely going to be one of them. So expect to see them in Legacy Evolution packaging as well. Pretty much, again, what JT Prime's list said a couple of months ago. Right. There is the Legacy Evolution figures. The dirge is just cut out at the top, and there's Devcon. Then the best, or the big surprise, again, we sort of knew it was coming, but to see it in hand, wow. And again, I couldn't really tell. I'm trying to tell if Samlock's bench is higher up than BMAX, because this looks way bigger than the Ark. So they got the Ark out, and as soon as they got the Ark out, you knew that the Nemesis was coming. Now, before everybody comments, exactly like they said, you can probably read it under there. This is just a prototype. It's not going to be, this isn't what it's going to look like when it's fully released. They reckon to get it all pretty much the purple colour that's on the nose. So it does say that all along the bottom, and they did keep alluding to that as they were showcasing him. So it's her, sorry, that's what I need to correct as well. It's a Decepticon, and it's a first female Titan. It really is. I meant him as in Sam Locke, who was showcasing it. But yes, she is the Nemesis. She is the first female class Titan figure, and she's absolutely a beauty. And again, for all the reasons, hopefully I can remember to tell you, because what I love about these figures now, and I keep alluding to it, they make these like the Japanese ones. That's why I love the Takara figures so much, the later Takara ones, because they're bases, because they're fun, because you can, and I'm a 44-year-old adult, you can have a good play with them, or they've got so many multifunctional things that you can do with them all. So in fact, here's some good shots of her in robot mode, and I'm sure, look, I'm trying to work out how much bigger she is compared to the Ark. Now, I know the Ark was one of the smaller Titans, but she looks huge, absolutely huge. And what I liked about this, and I'm pretty sure I've got screenshots, the amount of things that you can do with this particular model is amazing. So there was a battle plate face guard which you could slide up and down. The chest opened out and closed, revealing the Decepticon logo, which was something amazing. There's the battle mask, see, and there's her eyes and a faceplate. There's the mask down. They didn't open and close the chest. I'm pretty sure they didn't, but you can see where that is going to open and close to reveal the Decepticon logo. She looks stunning. She looks like, yeah, an updated massive version of Tarn as well. Then they showed you I suppose, again, the interaction part, exactly what I'm on about. So under one of these sort of forearm things, there's some tiny scale thrust and dirge on one side, and then I think another seeker, I can't remember now, damn, I should have checked my notes, underneath the arms, so that these actually fold out. You can take them off, you can fly them around. They're fully interactive with this, again, PlayStation, which I'm going to call it. There's all the guns and the weapons there. Now, what they could also do, she could take off her shins, and they become huge weapons. There you go, that's the shins in her hand that we've pulled off. See, there's one on there and there's not one on the other, and it folds out to be a massive gun. You can do that with both. And they also then took something off the forearms, I think it was, which makes axes. Oh no, it was off the tips of the wings. So again, pretty much most of the parts on it are multifunctional, multi-use, and exactly that, just an amazing playset. And that's pretty much where they concluded with the actual reveals. Then they did what they've started doing, which again I think is brilliant, because it gives them a bit of a head start on everybody else. They call it, you know, through the space bridge of upcoming figures that we're expecting. Now, a lot of these are absolute no-brainers, but it's also nice to have them 100% confirmed. So that is Dark of the Moon Core Class Bumblebee, and it doesn't take a genius to work out that's going to be a yellow redeco of the Laserbeak figure. Then this was the big one, of course, Studio Series Brawn from the 86 movie. So it's going to be like Beachcomber, and it's going to be like the G1 mini bots, all at deluxe size, which are brilliant. And again, even they had a laugh at it themselves, saying that although he's not in the movie for very long, he's going to go. So I imagine he'll go Studio Series 86 first, then package refresh into whichever toy line that we're doing at the time. But Studio Series 86 Brawn, deluxe class mini bot Brawn, can't wait for that. Amazing. Then again, no-brainer. So with the video game, because we've got Bumblebee coming out, we're going to, of course, get the Cliff Jumper redeco. So this is the Studio Series Game and Net, oh, not Network, Game Zone, Game, I can't think exactly what it is, but you know what, Gaming Universe, of course it is. And then, of course, Megatron as well from the same toy line, but they're doing what they did with Optimus Prime, so they're upscaling him to a Voyager class figure. No images, unfortunately, of it, just basically saying that they're doing exactly that. They're going to upscale to a Voyager class figure, which is brilliant. And then, of course, we've got Studio Series Rise of the Beast. They've obviously confirmed that we're going to get a Voyager class Rhinox. We've seen the normal mainstream and mainline Rhinox, but not a Studio Series one yet. And, of course, the main one that we are all waiting for is, of course, Studio Series Rise of the Beast Voyager class Optimus. Now, the only problem with that is, and especially from a guy who lives in the UK with no targets, it's going to be a buzzworthy Bumblebee Target exclusive. They said they're going to give more information on that in as and when. They didn't give an exact date, but unfortunately, Voyager class Rise of the Beast Optimus Prime is exactly that. It's going to be a Target buzzworthy Bumblebee exclusive. So there you pretty much go, to be honest. Just very quickly then, let me recap for you the ones that you can pre-order right now. UK guys, In Demand Toys, you can get them from, as well as Hasbro Pulse. So here they are. So we've got Core Class Scar and Swoop, and as I said, there's going to be a package refresh of Starscream. Deluxe Class, we've got Beachcomber, Devcon, and Axel Grease, and as I said, I'm pretty sure they said there's going to be a package refresh of Tarantulas. Voyager class, we've got Nemesis, Leo, Prime, or yeah, Prime, not Convoy, Dirge. Leader class is going to be Megatron. All of them are available for pre-order today, and I've gone and pre-ordered them all because you can do the pay 3 things with PayPal, which I shouldn't do, but I've got NEC, so I'll make my money back then from doing a toy store there. But all of them you can pre-order from today. Commander class Armada Megatron is 18th of, let me just quickly double check when they said, because I've got it here, from 18th of April, and they didn't say anything about the Nemesis just yet. They said they just let us know. So there you go. That pretty much wraps up the fan stream. It was great. Even though you've watched this, I'd probably still recommend having a watch of it if you've got the time. If you haven't, hopefully I've covered everything for you there. And yeah, with regards to this channel, back to the normal news, including everything up to third party in a few hours. So there you go, guys. Hope this helped. Hope you enjoyed the stream as well. Let me know what you're looking out for. Let me know what your favourites are. Let me know which figures you want, etc. There's so much going on, and again, I love the interaction with this on here as well. So thank you ever so much for watching, guys. Take care.